Assalamu alaikum class. Now we are going to start chapter number 9 infinite series, and here we have exercise 9.1 sequences. At first we will discuss what is meant by sequence. So sequence is an unending succession of numbers called the terms, and the terms are denoted by a1, a2, a3 and so on. Now what is meant by unending? It means it is continue up to infinity. That is here a1 is representing the first term, a2 is representing the second term, a3 is representing the third term, and these three dots are representing the continuation of the list. That is, these are continue up to infinity. That is a4, a5, a6, a7 and so on. So here we have the definition of sequence, or in simple words we can say that it is an ordered list of numbers. That is, it is not an unending succession of numbers, but also it must follow a particular order. So here we are having an example: 1 by 2, 2 by 3, 3 by 4, 4 by 5 and so on, n over n plus 1 and so on. So what is meant by this term which is representing in terms of n? So here we are having the first term a1, that is for n is equal to 1 we are having the first term. For n is equal to 2 we are having a2. For n is equal to 3 we are having a3, the third term. And here is a journal term, or the nth term, which is an. So journal term is representing in terms of n, and by inserting n is equal to 1 we get the first term. By inserting n is equal to 2 we get the second term. For putting n is equal to 3 we get the third term and so on. So the journal term plays a very important role when we are writing down a sequence. The second example is over here. If we are having 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 16 and so on, so we can generalize the term in the form 1 over 2 power n. So you can see when I put n is equal to 1 I get the first term. For n is equal to 2 I am going to have 1 over 2 power 2, that is 1 by 4. For n is equal to 3, the third term, that is 2 power 3 that is 1 by 8 and so on. The third example is also represented over here, that 1 by 2 minus 2 by 3, 3 by 4 minus 4 by 5. You can see we are having the same terms, but with the alternative sign. So we have to put some extra term, which is going to be minus 1 raised to the power n plus 1. So clearly when I put n is equal to 1, 1 plus 1 is going to be 2, and minus 1 raised to the power 2 will be positive. So the first term is positive. Now when I put n is equal to 2, we are going to have 2 plus 1, that is 3, minus 1 power odd is going to be a negative number. That's why the second term is negative. So journal term is very important to write down a sequence. Here we have first question from the exercise: find a formula for the journal term. A sequence is given to you and we have to find out the journal term. So the sequence is given as 1 over square root of pi, 4 over cube root of pi, 9 over fourth root of pi and so on. So at first you can see that when I for n is equal to 1 the numerator is 1, for n is equal to 2 the numerator is 4, for n is equal to 3 the numerator is 9. So it means that the numerator is simply n square. So here we have n square divided by, now for n is equal to 1 we are having index 2, that is the power 1 by 2. For n is equal to 2 the power is 1 by 3. For n is equal to 3 the power of pi is 1 by 4. So it means we can generalize it in the form n square over pi raised to the power 1 over n plus 1. So here is the journal term for the given sequence. The next definition is for the convergence of a sequence. A sequence an is said to converge to a limit L if given any epsilon positive. Now epsilon positive means it is a very small positive number. It could be 0.01 or 0.001 or 0.00001. So there is a positive integer n such that the condition holds that an minus L mod is less than epsilon for n greater than or equal to n. What does this mean, or what is this statement is going to say? That after a particular number of digit, that is for example this capital N is equal to 4, that is after the fourth term n greater than or equal to n, means after this fourth term or after this capital nth term, the terms of the sequence are getting closer and closer to a particular number which is L. So here you can see that after this integer n, or after this term n, the terms are getting closer and closer to a term or a number which is represented by L. So L plus epsilon over L minus epsilon, saying that these are not going to cross this boundary. So these are very close to L as soon as we are crossing this particular digit or this particular term. So in such case we will say that limit n approaches to infinity an is equal to L, otherwise it will be a divergent sequence. So when we are going to solve the question, or when we are going to apply the convergence, this one is not important, because this is by definition, but we are just going to apply the limits rules we have already discussed in chapter number 1, and then we will find out the limit or of the nth term of the sequence. If we are going to have a constant number, it means the sequence is convergent, otherwise the sequence will be a divergent sequence. So here you can see in this example that we are given with a sequence. This is a general notation to represent a sequence. For example, if we have to represent 1 over 2 power n as a sequence, I will write it in the terms of curly bracket n varying from 1 to infinite. That is, we are talking about a sequence, and the terms are starting from n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. So here is a we are having a sequence, and we have to check that if this sequence is convergent or divergent. So we will put the limit on the journal term of the sequence, which is n over n plus 1. Right now we are having infinity over infinity, so there are two ways we can apply the L'Hopital's rule over here, or we can apply the method or the rule we have discussed already. So we are going to divide the numerator and denominator with n, so that I could have 1 over 1 plus 1 over n. Now inserting the limit, we get 1, that is the sequence is a convergent sequence. The next one is 8 minus 2n. N is varying from 1 to infinity, so again we are going to apply the limit on the journal term, which is 8 minus 2n, and we are getting negative infinity. That is, this given sequence is a divergent sequence. Now in the next questions, we have to write down the first 5 terms of the sequence and determine whether the sequence is convergent or divergent, and in case of convergent sequence we have to find out the limit. So here we are having question number 10, limit ln of 1 by n varying from 1 to infinity. So here we are having the sequence, and we are going to write down the first 5 terms of the sequence. That is, we have to put n 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So we will put n is equal to 1, that is ln of 1, then ln of 1 by 2, ln of 1 by 3, ln of 1 by 4, ln of 1 by 5 and so on. So here are the first 5 terms of the sequence. Next we have to find out its limit as well. So limit n approaches to infinity, journal term is ln of 1 over n. So when I put the limit over here, you can see by the graph that as n approaches to 0, the function is approaching, or y is approaching to negative infinity. So it is a divergent sequence, it cannot be a convergent one. Next we have question number 12, n sine pi by n varying from 1 to infinity. So simply putting n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, we get the first 5 terms of the sequence. And in order to check its convergence or divergence, we will put limit n approaches to infinity n sine pi by n. So right now it is infinity into 0, so we will try to put this in the form of fraction, so that we may be able to apply the L'Hopital's rule over here. So I will write it out in the terms sine of pi by n over 1 by n. Now applying the L'Hopital's rule, that is taking the derivative of the numerator as well as the denominator, we get sine pi by n. The derivative of sine is cos, so cos pi by n into the derivative of the angle, which is going to be minus pi by n square, and the derivative of the denominator is again minus 1 by n square. So this negative will be cancelled out, n square will be cancelled out. Now inserting the limit, as cos of 0 is 1, so we get the answer pi, which means that the given sequence is a convergent sequence. Next we have question number 16, in which we have to find out the sequence to be convergent or divergent, and the sequence is n over 2 power n varying from 1 to infinity. So here are the first 5 terms of the sequence by inserting n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So next, for convergence or divergence, we will apply the limit on the journal term, that is limit n approaches to infinity n over 2 power n. For getting infinity by infinity, we are able to apply the L'Hopital's rule, that is, we will take the derivative of the numerator, which is 1, and the derivative of the denominator, which is ln of 2 power n. So here you can see the answer is 0, that is, the given sequence is a convergent sequence and it converges to 0. Next we have question number 20, square root n square plus 3n minus n varying from 1 to infinity. So here are the first 5 terms of the sequence, inserting n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and so on. And for convergence or divergence, I am going to put the limit on the journal term, that is limit n approaches to infinity square root of n square plus 3n minus n, and obviously we have to rationalize the expression first, and whenever we are going to rationalize it, we will multiply and divide the expression with the plus n plus, and here we are not having the square root is still here. So why we are multiplying the expression with square root of n square plus 3n minus n with square root of n square plus 3n plus n, in order to make the formula a minus b into a plus b, so that we are able to have a square minus b square, and we can easily cut down the square root. So a minus b into a plus b is going to be a square minus b square, that is n square plus 3n square root whole square, and this will be cancelled out, minus n square, and the denominator is as it is. Now this n square and this n square will be cancelled out, and we are get 3n over square root of n square plus 3n plus n. Right now it's infinity by infinity, and we know that mod of n will be equal to n as n is approaches to infinity, and mod of n is equal to square root of n square. So as we have discussed in chapter number 1, we are going to divide the numerator and denominator with mod of n. Now for numerator I am going to replace it with n, and for denominator I am going to replace it with square root of n square. So here we get limit n approaches to infinity 3 over square root of 1 plus 3 by n plus 1, that is 3 by 2, and hence it is a convergent sequence.